Hi all, my name's Megan Shannon, and today I'm going to be explaining SQL Math Operators, more specifically count, sum, average, and round. All right. I'm going to be actually showing you examples from a database called Guitar 1 and the tables with it, the table product from the table product within the database Guitar 1. Please ignore the examples. They're simply for my PowerPoint presentation. But I do want to show count is the definition for count. What count does is it counts the amount of rows depending on the selection criteria. So if you choose a selection criteria of all, it's going to count all the rows that are within that table. All right. So I just want to show you how to do it. And I like to edit inline because I can see everything here, which is really nice. And I can see what I want to select and all that. All right, so let's select. We don't really want to select any specific column because it's just not, we only want to see how many there are, how many rows there are in this whole table. We're not trying to see any specific column. Okay, so we're going to count all. That asterisk means all within the parentheses. If you were to choose instead like a specific column, list price, then it would count only the list price column. Sorry, I actually really wanted to start from here. See, here's the table. I'm mainly going to be working with categories and list price so that we can see, so I can keep it simple. Okay. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. All right. So we're going to select. We're not selecting any specific column. And then we're going to count. And this asterisk is all, of course, within that parentheses, from products. Okay? And press go. Let's see if it works. See, there are 10 rows within this table. All right. And I want to do a little bit more of a specific one. Go back to products. A little bit more of a specific one. After this one, I'm going to actually I do about 2 examples per, and I'm going to do them at the same time, just to save time on this presentation because I have a lot to cover and only 7 minutes to do so. We'll see if that works. All right, so we're going to select specific category because this is what we want to show up first, which is category ID. We want to count all as, and we're going to name it count category from products, group by, and group by will mean that you'll see it. So for example, there's 1, 2, 3 categories, and it's going to group it per category. So one category, you'll see how many rows there are for the value 1 categories, and there's a bunch of them. So you'll see there's probably going to be quite a few rows for that. And you'll see that in a second. So 1 second, I'll show you. Okay. And I like to end it with, anyway, okay. All right, so go. So you can see there's 3 different categories, and for number 1, there's 6 rows for it. Number 2, there's 2 rows. 3, there's 2 rows. So it counted how many rows there were per category. Okay. Sum is used to find the sum of the field in various records. So depending on what you ask for, you're going to get a sum of it. So to find the sum. Okay, it'll be easier to show an example. 2 examples actually. Okay. Select. Once again, we don't want to see a specific one, but we want to only see the sum of list price. Yeah, that makes sense. There's the only one with really numbers. So we want to see the sum of this column, list price, and we're going to name it sum list price from products. Okay. Next, we're going to we do want to see a couple columns. In this one, we're going to do the sum of the list price per category ID. Okay. So it's going to be select category ID, comma, sum list price as, I'm just going to name it the same thing because why not, from products. I've already explained group by, so I'm not going to go into that again. Okay, so group by category ID. Okay, so you can see here's the sum list price that column that we created, and it counted all of the list price, it summed all the list prices together and came up with that rather large number. And with this one, it did it per ID. So there, for the first category ID, there was $5,618.99 worth of list prices within the category ID. Okay. Next is average, which is pretty much the same thing. You do it pretty much the same way, but you do it by, you pretty much replace sum with average, honestly. And it finds the average of whatever you're looking for, whatever you put in. So really quick, select list price. I know. Honestly, this time I'm actually going to just do one to make it shorter. So we're going to select category IDs. Then we're going to find the average of list price. And we're going to name it average list prices. Products. Group by, most very important, categories. ID. All right, let's go. Here we go. So you can see it found the average of each of the categories. Oh, I'm going to go back. So it found that. So here's category 1. So took this and took all these, added them together, and divided them by 6. And it found the average. Okay. Last but not least, we're going to work on the round function. Expression. Anyway, round, mathematical. Anyway, okay, so round returns a number rounded to a certain number of decimal places. I am going to go over the examples here because I made them specifically to explain how round works. So here you have select and then round 2.14. Okay, so usually there's an X and Y to it, but this time I chose only to do 2.14, just the X. Because I did that, it assumed the Y was 0, and therefore it rounded, and which the X is 214, which is the value, and the Y, which is the Y is how many numbers you want after the decimal place. And in this case, it assumes it's 0 because I didn't put anything. So therefore, it's going to round to 2. Next, I did put something in the Y, which for the decimal place. So because I put 1, I want one number after the decimal place. So therefore, it rounded to 2.1. And because it's a 4 instead of like a 5 or 6, it's going to round to 2.1 instead of 2.2 if it were 5 and above. Okay. All right, now I'm going to show you a more realistic example within the database in which we actually use a column and find the round a column instead, okay? All right. So we're going to once again edit inline. Leave the select up because why not? All right. So we are selecting category. All right, I'm having a space cadet moment on this, sorry. All right, yeah, categories. Category ID, okay. We're gonna round, okay. List price. We only want one, sorry, see, one number after decimal. So I'm taking list price and I'm gonna round it so there's only one number after the decimal. And then we're going to name it round list price. We're going to use products, of course, as we have them. Okay, so you can see it did it. It rounded, there was a few 0.99s, and of course it rounded up, and then it rounded up again because that's how rounding works. And then, but it left only 1 0 after the decimal place as we wanted. So that's how rounding works. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I hope it explained everything. I hope I explained it pretty well, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye now.